what's cracking, everybody? First and foremost, as always, I extend my utmost fraternal respect to all of you and hope this video finds you residing within the highest of spirits and doing well on this fine Saturday morning. We're going to go ahead and get into a story about Orestes. And I'm not talking about the Greek god Orestes. We're talking about the convict Orestes. But before I do, if you haven't smashed the like button, please do. If you haven't subscribed yet, I assure you there's going to be a lot more content to come. So please subscribe. And if you haven't hit that all notification bell, please do. So anytime I drop any content, you will be notified ASAP so you can tap in. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into Orestes. Orestes was a smaller gentleman, um, wasn't a very big guy, and he was kind of not the average convict per se. He was didn't look like the average convict, if you get what I'm saying. He was more of like a book smart type dude. Didn't have a lot of tattoos or nothing. Very smart though. One of the most smartest individuals I've met in prison, and anything philosophy related, mythology, history, whatever. He could quote dates and everything. Right, dude was very smart. Well, Resties lived in 3 block, while me and my buddy Mike we lived in 5 block. Me and Mike worked in the canteen. So Orestes had been gambling with this individual in his building, and he was owed $5, merely just $5, a toothpaste and a deodorant from the store. That's what he was owed. And the guy kept slow playing him, and Orestes really needed. He didn't have family taking care of him. He didn't have, people on the streets. He didn't really have too much of a hustle. So occasionally he would gamble and, hope he won. And if he won, then cool. If not, he wouldn't have to do what he had to do, pay his debt and move on. But it just so happens he won a little bit, and this dude owed him $5. Well, he kept slow playing him. Orestes would watch him through his window, standing on his door, doing deals, dropping money off, doing all kinds of just, dope, gambling, whatnot. And the last thing he was concerned about was Orestes' $5. And some guys will do that. They figure, oh, it's just $5. It ain't nothing. Like, dude ain't gonna, he ain't gonna do nothing over $5. And especially if you don't look like the average convict, some may go ahead and try and take your kindness for weakness. And Orestes asked him twice, hey, what's up with my deodorant and toothpaste, bro? I need that. And he blew him off and just, I'll get it to you, I'll get it to you, and just kept doing his thing. He would see him passing out stuff all the time, go to the store, giving out all kinds of money and whatnot. And he finally got tired of it. So me and Mike are in canteen, and as always, before yard, we start stocking the shelves, get everything ready for when the yard's released, so we can run store. And it's kind of a hustle, when you work in the canteen, guys don't want to wait in line and whatnot, so it's a hustle. You guys will pay you to get in first, so they don't have to wait and so forth. And every day you got a list of 5 or 6 guys that you're getting in first, and they're giving you $10 to $15 each time. So anyways, we're in there, we're stocking the shelves, and then yard release comes. Whenever yard release would come, we would always sit there and just stare out the windows, because usually if something was going to pop off, it would be during yard release or at yard recall. So we're sitting there, and yard's getting released, and here comes Orestes, and right in front of the canteen is the handball wall right there. You can see the handball wall perfectly, everybody playing handball and whatnot. So Orestes is walking right in front of the handball wall, and he always knew we were at the window. So he kind of looked over and nodded and smiled, And we knew about this dude slow playing him over this deodorant and his toothpaste, because we actually gave him a deodorant and toothpaste. So he had some, and he was telling us how dude was slow playing him, right? So next thing you know, we see dude coming right by the handball wall. And Orestes didn't play handball, but dude did. And Orestes knew that. So we're kind of watching, and next thing you know, Orestes looks over to us, kind of like, like, what's up, man? And next thing you know, he turns around and he goes right over to dude and just starts hacking his face up. I mean, I'm talking cut his nose to where the tip of his nose was barely hanging on by some meat and some skin. Just hacked it. I mean, just hacked his face up bad. And the alarm goes off, Orestes still standing. Dude's over by the handball wall, grabbing his face with the shirt and shit, trying to stop the bleeding. And they run up, and Orestes just sitting there smiling at us. He throws the knife up on the roof and gets down, puts his hands behind his back. They come and cuff him up, take him off. And I didn't see Orestes again until later on in the shoe. But let's just say he was one not to be messed with, like, and after that dude got cut up and went to the infirmary and came back and everything, he never shaved again. He always had a full beard and a big scar on his nose. And it wasn't about the $5. It was about the principle to Orestes. It wasn't, he cared less about that $5. It was more about the fact the dude was slow playing him, like just straight disrespectfully slow playing him. And bam, he got hit good. He's lucky dude didn't want to kill him, because that could have very well easily happened too. But he wanted him to look in that mirror every day and remember old Orestes and that $5, boy. That's what he wanted. That's what he wanted. And that just goes to show that size don't matter. Like, size does not matter at all. Like, you can have some of the small guys that are the most vicious and violent dudes that you've ever met. You can have big dudes that are the most violent and vicious dudes you've ever met. Then you can have big dudes that are just straight bitches and will get knocked out, stabbed up, just ran over, no problem. And you got small dudes, same thing. It does not matter. Size does not matter. I've seen some of the Mike, the guy I'm talking about working camp with me. I've seen that dude knock dudes smooth out one punch, just and lift them about an inch off their fucking feet when doing so. And that dude was small, but he was healthy. So again, size don't matter. But lesson to be learned here, man. Don't just think somebody is weak because of the way they look. Don't look at somebody and think just because they might not look like they're hard, or they're not a gangster, or they're not with the business, or whatever you want to call it. Like, don't take kindness for weakness, man. Don't sit back and think just because somebody don't look the part that they won't do something to you, man. And I've seen it since I've been home, man. You got dudes wearing skinny jeans and all kinds of shit, looking crazy. Next thing you know, man, they're shooting somebody, they're smoking somebody, they're on the news for murder, whatever the case may be. So just know, just because somebody don't look the part, don't mean they ain't that. All right. And to all you youngsters, man, just stay out of prison. Leave the drugs alone. Leave all that alone. Leave the crime alone, the gangs alone, and stay out of prison so you don't even have to deal with this type of crap. Right? Who wants to go in there and be around nothing but a bunch of men locked up for year after year after year, decade after decade after decade, just to sit in there and continuously mess up, screw up, and be stuck in there potentially? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Just stay home, do your thing, handle your business, and don't go to jail or prison, period. Revert back to rule number one. If you haven't listened to the rules, revert back to rule number one. Always revert to rule number one. Just don't go. So with that being said, man, salute to Orestes, salute to my brother Mike, man, who is now out and doing very well, thank God. And I hope Orestes is doing all right, man. He had several life sentences, he was never getting out. And I think about Orestes sometimes, and his crazy little ass, but I hope he's doing all right in there. And with that being said, I just wanted to go ahead and drop you guys a video this morning. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Don't let anybody steal or stomp on your joy or your happiness. Continue to push forward, always forward progress. With that being said, deuces.